Road transport in Nigeria accounts for over 90% of freight and passenger service for inland transportation, and therefore, the importance of the national road network as a major contributor to the socio-economic development of the country cannot be overemphasized. President Muhammadu Buhari's administration has provided one of the highest funding attentions for infrastructural development in recent times in the history of Nigeria. The Honorable Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, SAN, whose ministry takes the bulk of the responsibility for infrastructural development, has been quoted on several occasions as saying that there is no state in Nigeria that his ministry is not working, especially with regards to road construction and rehabilitation. Indeed, by improving journey time and facilitating the movement of goods to the market across the country, the ministry is playing a key role in realizing the objectives of the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan (ERGP) of the current administration to restore growth, invest in the Nigerian people, and improve economic competitiveness. Using the traditional federal north-south road network from A1 to A9 and other priority indicators as guide, the Honorable Minister and his colleague ministers of state explain how this assertion is true and verifiable.
There is no state in the Federal Republic of Nigeria where this government is not building one road project or the other, whether it is a new project or those projects that were stalled or that we have reactivated, so that we just improve the connectivity of the road network and the transport network to support business. Now, it's interesting that we also talk about the routes A1 to A9, and one of the things that we have left undone is that we have not projected for the information of the public that our highways actually have defined road and code names, just as you will see in other parts of the world, M1, M6, and those kind of things. And so this has existed, and it is the intention of this administration to reinstate that nomenclature and also use it as part of education for the next generation to understand the route network, highway network of the country. And what we ultimately will see is a return of highway signage so that people can travel across the length and breadth of Nigeria as you would do in many other parts of the world. Once you can get a map, because there are signs that tell you which way to go. As you get to each village or each town, there are also signs that tell you how far you have come, which town you are entering. That has not been prevalent in Nigeria until recently. We are trying to start erecting town and village signs to guide commuters about how far they have gone, and also how much longer their journey is. The kilometer milestones that used to tell how far you have traveled, how many kilometers is left. We also want to restore all of that, because those are the traditional global road network furniture, highway network furniture, and also lane marking and so on and so forth. Now, the interesting thing about the Nigerian route map is that essentially it tries to connect the country in type of a north to south and grid type east to west manner. If you look at the A1 to A4, they are all the routes that run from the sea to the north of Nigeria. If you look at the A1 here, it runs from Lagos right through Ibadan, Osogbo, Ilorin, Jeba, and takes you all the way to Sokoto, to our border with Niger. And if you go to the A2, you will see it's also from a port city, Warri, Benin, and then goes through Okene, Lokoja, all the way to Katsina. And you will see the same thing with the A3, which takes you from Port Harcourt, another coastal city, all the way to Maiduguri. It actually forks somewhere here and takes you to Portisco, to Yobe. And then the A4 is the one that comes straight from Calabar to Maiduguri. Now, if you look at all of that, is port roads, port cities to savannah towns, and then international border crossing. Now, if you go to the A5, you will see the spur that it creates. This is now the route away from Ibadan to Ota to connect another part of Western Nigeria. You will see the same thing with the A6, which links critical sectors of the east to the south-south, Aba, Uyo, Onitsha, Port Harcourt, and it can give you the connectivity to the A2. And the same thing you will see with the A7 now, and this is from the east, western flank of the country, taking you from Ilorin to parts of Kishi, Kayama area of the north central and our border to Republic of Benin. And the A8 does almost the same thing on the eastern flank. And you will see there you are close to our border with Chad, Cameroon on the south, Chad to the northeast. And the A9 you will see to the north. It's just like a balanced grid network that takes you to Jibia and to the border town from another side of Kano. Now, this is a grid that if you restore it, you have essentially hit a very, very big blow to the problem of road transport, cost, time, and delay. Because once that entire network is moving, Nigeria is back on the move. As far as road transport is concerned, costs will come down, fuel consumption will come down, it will affect cost of goods and services, the journey time experience will improve, the amounts of hours people spend on the road will translate to efficiency and productivity, which is what all of this ease of business and all of that is all about. So they are not the choice of those roads that we are focusing on now. And so you will see within that network that we are focusing on Ilorin, Jeba, we are focusing on Oyo, Ogbomosho, we are focusing on Enugu, Onitsha, Port Harcourt, we are focusing on Kano, Maiduguri, we are focusing on Sokoto, Ilela, Tambua Road. These are all parts, sections that are within that A1 to A9, where we want to restore motorability.